What's going on, bottom line viewers? It's Mitch here, joined by the one, the only Dilly Vanilli, my right-hand man. We are here for NFL Week number 10. Preview, predictions. We're going to give you our picks for Week 10. We're going to talk about each game in detail. If you've never been here on the Bottom Line View before, consider subscribing to the channel. We do NFL videos every single day of the week. So, I mean, we got some content, and we believe it's quality. So, if you think it's quality, then why not subscribe? That's what we say here. So, also, if you are not new here and you're a longtime subscriber, hit that like button. Let us know that you enjoy these prediction videos, and we want to hear from you guys in the live chat. Let us know what your thoughts are on week number 10. Any NFL news, maybe Martellus Bennett. That's a pretty big situation right now in the NFL. A lot of other stuff going on. Maybe you're interested in that Thursday night matchup between the Hawks and the Cardinals. Any other things you guys want to talk about? Fantasy football, betting. Make sure you're in there in the live comments letting us know. And also let us know who you guys are picking. We always love to hear that. So, Dylan, it's week number 10.
Yes, sir.
We're getting there, man. We're getting there. We're almost at playoff football. We're transitioning into the big time of the year in the NFL. What are you looking forward to in this week number 10?
Well, like you said, some teams are going to they're competing for a playoff spot right now, and some are earning their way into a playoff spot. So I'm looking to do some big games, some interesting key games, some low-key games, because this week, flash the most, but it could represent the rest of the way going forward. For example, that Thursday night football matchup we'll be talking about, Seahawks-Cardinals, could change the impact for both teams in the playoff race. Cowboys Falcons, big game. Saints Bills, two teams that are winning well, or at least the Saints are, and they got two teams that are in playoff positions right now. So that should be interesting. And Chargers and Jaguars are an interesting game as well. So a couple of games that might not be high profile, but are definitely going to be impactful in the playoff position.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. There's quite a few games here that are kind of flying under the radar. We're going to start off with two birds flying under the radar. We got the Seahawks. We have the Cardinals. The game's going to be played in Arizona. It's Drew Stanton at the helm for the Cardinals. It's, of course, Russell Wilson with the Seahawks. And Russell Wilson with the Seahawks, there's a video about to come out in the next couple of days from myself. Top 5 pretenders and contenders this season. And one of the big issues I have with the Seahawks is they put too much on Russell Wilson. Yes, I've been critiquing his play. Yes, I think that at times he tries to do too much, but that's because he has to do too much. He has to do too much for their offense to win. They don't allow him to really sit there and just make the simple reads and the simple plays. He's constantly having to avoid defenders. He's constantly looking down the field to make a big play, and sometimes it doesn't work out for him. And sometimes they lose the game because they can't really help Russell Wilson on the offensive side of the ball. This week, though, they're playing a Cardinals team that they're 4-4, but their record suggests that they're a better team than they actually are. They've lost some pretty stinky games this year. They've had some bad performances. This game is in Arizona, so that is, something to take from this. But Cardinals don't have David Johnson. They don't have Carson Palmer. Their defense isn't as good as one would think. And I think the Seahawks are still capable of winning this game. I don't think the Seahawks are by any means one of the top teams in the NFL, but I think they are in that second tier of teams. And I think they are a team that can control this game and can do enough on the offensive side of the ball with Russell Wilson, with this passing game that has become their new way of moving the football compared to a power run game of the past. And I think their defense is good enough to stop a mediocre to bad quarterback in Drew Stanton. So I have the Seahawks winning this game pretty handily. I'm not going to say it's going to be like a blowout or anything, but I think that the Seahawks should take this one pretty easily.
Yeah, for me, the Seahawks' performance last week was very disappointing against the Redskins. I did bring up that stat that the Redskins are 7-1 against them since 2003, but I didn't actually think they were going to beat them. It was kind of a stinker performance from Russell Wilson and the gang, but in this time around, I think it's going to be different. Just because I think the Seahawks need to figure out that they've got a really hard schedule coming through, and they got to win this divisional matchup. Divisional matchups sometimes are hard for the Seahawks, but against this Cardinals team that has Drew Stanton at the helm, I don't think they're going to be winning this big game, this big matchup. I just don't see it happening. The Cardinals were facing the 49ers last week, and it's the 49ers. Come on now. So I'm going to go with the Seahawks. Not confident in the Seahawks team going forward, but at least for this game here, I'm going to stick with them.
All right, so we both have the Seahawks. Who does Kev and AC have?
Kev and AC both have the Seahawks winning this game.
All right, and if you're just joining us now, we will be doing the live comments, as always, halfway through and at the end of the video. So just wait for that, and we'll get to your comments. Yes. The next game I have here is New Orleans going to Buffalo in what I think could be the game of the week here. This is going to be a really good game. Buffalo coming off a tough loss to the Jets where they were manhandled by a divisional foe. That's never a good thing. Thursday Night Football, Richie Incognito went nuts, and he said that no team, no player, no franchise should ever be playing on Thursday night. I don't know if you saw that, Dylan, but that was pretty intense. It was pretty intense. You should see it. But Richie was right. I agree with him, and I think that's going to really translate to their play on the field this weekend. I think Buffalo's going to come out angry. I think they're going to push the Saints to the limit. I think this is going to be a very entertaining football game. I love what the Saints have to offer this season. I think they're one of the competitors in the NFC. They can run the ball. They can pass the ball. Drew Brees is still one of the top quarterbacks. Their defense is taking the ball away every single week, and they're finding ways to get off the field for their offense to score. And Buffalo, before last week, was playing pretty consistent defense. You know, they're getting decent pressure. Their secondary was improved, and they weren't allowing a lot of points. And their offense is definitely capable of running the ball. It's going to be interesting to see if Calvin Benjamin suits up in this one, which I believe he will. Charles Clay is questionable, so that's going to be interesting to see if he suits up, because then if they both do, I mean, the Bills might have a competent passing game with Jordan Matthews, Clay, and Benjamin there with Tyrod Taylor and a pretty good offensive line. So that complements their run game. I have the Bills winning this game, actually. This is a game that there's always that 1 or 2 games in a year where a team that doesn't usually play the Bills travels to Buffalo, which is like the worst place, like the most awkward place to play in the entire league. It might be snowing. I have no idea. It might be raining. It might be really cold. The fans are nuts, and they throw freaking beer on the field and dildos on the field. That did happen.
That did happen. Yes, that did.
And I don't know. I just feel like Buffalo, with a little bit more time to prepare, the days off, the realization they got their ass kicked, I think they're going to be back here. And I think that they're going to play a tough football game. And it's going to be really close. But this is just one of those that I think the Saints will maybe take a little bit lightly. And this is always a tough place to play. Plus, Buffalo has been really good at home this season. They had really impressive wins there. And I think they'll have another one here against the Saints.
Before I go on, I want to give everybody the standings for through week 9. AC is still up at number 1, 82-50. But I came back. I got 2 games on Mr. AC. So now I'm.
You're acting like you're close to him when you're closer to me and Kev.
No, like, I'm getting closer. No, first of all, I'm now farther away from you. Okay, I'm getting
You're only 4 picks ahead, and there's like 7 weeks left.
Exactly, and AC's only 8 ahead of me. So you take down 2 at a time, and you work.
So what you're saying is the group is becoming closer, is what you're saying.
No. You're still very far behind.
I'm only 12 picks behind. You're 8 picks behind.
That's at least single digits, okay? I'm chopping the wood down.
See how Dylan is playing with your mind here? He really thinks he's in the driver's seat, but he's not.
I'm not in the driver's seat, but I'm also not in the trunk either.
That the Cowboys are first in the NFC East right now. That's what he's basically saying to you.
What did I say? When did I say that? Never said that. All y'all went 6-7, and I went 8-5 last week. So just want to put that out there. Kev is 71-61. Mitch is 70-62. So still in the rear.
There was a time a couple weeks ago when I was negative.
That is true. That's impressive, but ain't gonna change. Ain't gonna be less. Saints. Go ahead. What are you gonna say?
Go ahead.
Okay. Saints Bills. This is an interesting matchup. Saints obviously put out everything that they can on offense. They're a high-scoring team. They've gotten their defense down to some credibility. I mean, compared to the last couple seasons, where I would have ranked them one of the worst in the league, if not the worst in the league. They've become an exciting team. They've won 6 straight. By the way, they've won 3 in a row since I've made that if they're legit or not. And they went from 3-2 to 6-2. So thank you, guys. I'm interested to see this game. The Bills kind of got their ass kicked on Thursday night, even though they were able to get the score closer enough towards the end because Tyrod Taylor was learning from Mr. Drew Brees about garbage time. But I think the Saints are going to pull this one out. I know Buffalo is a weird place to play in, but I just feel like the Saints are really hot right now. They could use this victory to get a little bit of a boost going into the playoffs, and I think this is a good matchup for them personally. But Bills could surprise me. I think Tyrod Taylor is getting a lot better, but I think the Saints will win, and also AC and Kev have the Saints winning this game. So Mitch is alone on this one.
Yes, let's go Bills. Even though I'm the only guy that has a team in the AFC, so it doesn't make any sense.
It
but
doesn't.
I will say this. This is a huge game because if you look at, like, if the Bills lose, they're in jeopardy of maybe falling off in that AFC wildcard race and definitely too far behind of the Patriots to win the division. And then the Saints, if they lose, the Panthers are right next to them. So, I mean, there's a lot to consider in this game. So the next game is Green Bay at Chicago, another big game because if one of these teams wins, they move into more relevancy in terms of the NFC playoff conversation, especially Green Bay, where you never know. Aaron Rodgers could come back any week now. And Chicago is a team that's kind of an underdog story right now, and they're playing above their head for the most part. Sad news with Zach Miller. We haven't really talked much about that, but that's absolutely awful. Hope he gets better. And for Chicago, I think they're the better overall team here. I think they play at home where they play really well, and their defense is something to, be messing with. I've said since week 1 when everyone was making fun of me for saying the Bears defense was good, and we made the comparison. Is their defense better than Green Bay? And everyone laughed at me, but it is better.
I did not actually. I didn't know that's a lie. So
okay. Well, AC did.
Okay.
The Bears are going to win this game. I think they'll be able to run the football, which is what they like to do on offense. Trubisky will only have to throw, around 15 to 20 times. He'll throw off the play action. They'll make some plays. I think Jordan Howard, Tariq Cohen will carry the load. And then defensively, they got a beast front 7 that I think will get after that young quarterback in Brett Hundley. And he's not really capable of taking advantage of this secondary, which I think isn't the greatest, but their front 7, like the Eagles' front 7, makes up for it. So I think the Bears will win this game, and it will be close because it's a divisional game with 2 offenses that aren't too good. But I think that the Bears ultimately do win this. And what I also like about the Bears, they're making plays on defense for touchdowns. They're making plays on special teams for touchdowns. And John Fox knows their identity with Trubisky at quarterback. And with this defense. So I really like the way the Bears are playing. They're playing the style they need to win games, and I appreciate that. That's why I have the Bears winning at home against the Packers.
This is an interesting matchup. A couple of weeks ago, like we always say, if Aaron Rodgers was in this game, I think things would maybe change. We would have different picks here. But it's an interesting scenario that we weren't really anticipating. So here you go. This is an interesting game. I like the Bears situation in here. They're coming off the bye here. The last time that they did play, they played the Saints, and they lost 20-12. So they were kind of trying to – their defense was stopping them enough times. It was their offense that wasn't able to get it done. Brett Hundley is not Drew Brees, unfortunately, for the Packers. And the Bears are playing really well so far. I mean, in terms of what they're getting done in production with Trubisky compared to Mike Glennon. So – all things considered, this should be an interesting game. I'm looking forward to. It's in Chicago, which I think is also good. And Chicago's favored currently 5.5 points on the spread. So I'm going to go with the Bears. AC and Kev also have the Bears. So it's the first sweep. I'm sure that everybody's picked the Bears in a week. Pretty sure that's true. But Brett Hundley has not shown yet that he is going to be a solid QB or even backup QB solution. And if their plays are going to be, let's throw to Devontae Adams at the line of scrimmage, they're not going to get shit done. So I'm going to go with the Bears, more confident in the Bears this week.
Browns, Lions. I have the Lions.
I also have the Lions. AC and Kev also have the Lions. Is there any question? All right.
The only thing I'll say here is that the Lions, if they want to be an actual threat, they need to find a running game. At some point in time, they need to find a running game. I don't think it's going to happen. It's not going to happen this week either. The Browns, the one thing they actually do is stop the run well. But they need to find that. Okay, please.
They need to go draft somebody in the first round. They're not going to be able to find it this season. I'm sorry.
But
they'll be holding up.
Lions will win nonetheless.
Yes.
Pittsburgh Colts. I don't know. Can we just skip this one too? I got the Steelers. They're one of the best teams in the league, playing really good defense, complementary football on offense with a good run game. Antonio Brown's going to eat up the secondary. And although I like Jacoby and what the Colts have done, I just don't think they're not going to feast on this defense. The games that the Colts have won, they've been able to score points, and I don't think they will in this game.
Colts won a fun game last week against the Texans, which was the QB. And they didn't, they have good receivers, but at least Ben can throw to some people. Tom Savage cannot really. The Steelers are going to win this game. AC and Kev agree with me. It's just too much of a simple game for the Steelers to be losing. At least with some of their losses this year, you could see why they lost these games. This one, I can't see why they would lose.
Yeah, there's always that Chicago one, which I called, by the way. I called that one. But there are always one or two games in a Pittsburgh season where they lose where they're not supposed to.
Well, you didn't pick them. You called it, but you didn't pick them. I don't know why you didn't do that. So.
Yeah, that was stupid. But this isn't one of those games. Okay. The Chargers take on the Jaguars.
The losers.
The biggest game of the week. Okay, this is the biggest game of the week.
Didn't you say that? Right. Oh, you said the best was about Steelers Bills or Saints Bills. Okay.
This is the biggest game right here. Mm-hmm. Right here. Okay, we have the best defense in the NFL. The Jacksonville Jaguars playing the best tandem of pass rushers in the NFL. Mr. Bosa, Meathead Bosa, and Ingram on the Chargers. Phillip Rivers is at a bye week. That means he's freshened up his van. He's got, he's ready. Keenan Allen, Gordon are ready. All right. The Chargers are going to win this game.
Losers.
The Chargers are going to win this game. Da-da-da-da-da. Chargers.
Losers.
Okay, I like what I've seen from the Chargers these last 4 weeks. They're 3-1. They lost to the Patriots, but it was the Patriots, and I really liked how competitive their defense was. I think the reason they win this game is because of their defense, and I think that they find a good run game in this game. I think the Jaguars are 31st in the league against the run, and I think this week, even though they're the best defense in the league, that's all because of what they do with forcing turnovers and getting that pass rush. This week, I think that the Chargers will find a way to run the ball, and they'll find a way. The weakness of the Jaguars defense, they're not that good at covering tight ends. I think we see a little Antonio Gates, a little Hunter Henry in that red zone. Phillip Rivers fits that ball in. They score some touchdowns. I think they're going to win this in a defensive battle. Bosa, Ingram combined for 5 sacks. They're going to win this game 17-14 because they're going to make a game-winning field goal because young Kupu isn't there anymore. And the Chargers are going to take this game. They're going to be 4-5, and they're going to be threatening for that AFC wild card. The Jaguars still going to be a playoff team, in my opinion. But the Chargers, I feel, are the most complete team with a losing record. They're going to win this game here.
You see what Kendrick's face is showing you? What the hell are you talking about? The good thing about the fight between AJ Green and Jalen Ramsey is that Ramsey is not suspended. Now, he did not throw any punches. AJ Green should have been suspended, but that's a different deal. I think that's huge coming into this game, though, because you're having to play the Chargers. This is a competitive matchup between a 3-5 team that's been very low-key. They're trying to make their way back into the playoffs or get themselves into a playoff position. And the Jaguars are one of the weirdest teams to make themselves in this position. Blake Bortles is not a good QB. He's not. Nobody will ever sell me that on whatsoever. But Leonard Fournette comes back this week. I think that'll be a key for them. They're going to have to use him effectively, and I think they will. The Jaguars' defense is going to be solid enough to contain Phillip Rivers and your Hunter Henrys and your Antonio Gates and all that shit. I don't think that's going to work. I think it's going to be too much for them, and I think they're going to get a lot of sacks. I think they'll get a lot more sacks on Phillip Rivers than Los Angeles. We'll see. But I got the Jaguars winning here. AC and Kev also have the Jaguars here. I think it'll be a good matchup, but at the end of the day, I think the Jags are too much, and the Chargers' playoffs hopes will be ruined.
No, well, I still said they're going to go 9-7 and make the playoffs. So
they won't. That's not even going to happen.
Just you wait.
Nope. They'll lose here. They'll lose to the Bills. It's over. It's over.
All right. Whatever. Jets at Buccaneers. All right.
Whoa.
So we have the Jets win. They finally win games. They win. They don't lose anymore. They win. They pounded the Buffalo Bills. The Jets are going to win. I mean, the Bucs suck, bro. Like, I watched that game against the Saints. They could not defend the run. They could not defend the pass. They couldn't throw. They couldn't run the ball. What can they do? They're a dysfunctional team. Their coach doesn't have control of this team. They've lost Jameis, who, by the way, had one of the weirdest pregame speeches I've ever seen. But Fitzpatrick's going to be in there. People are saying this is a Fitzpatrick revenge game. No, you know what this is? This is a Josh McCown revenge game. That's what it is. Josh McCown is going to have a nice game here against his former team, and the Jets are going to win it because the Jets are an inspired football team. They believe they can win games. They have been winning games. Their coach has them winning games. Their defense isn't that bad. Their offense is playing well. They can run the ball. The Jets are playing better football. I'm taking the Jets.
Hold on. Okay, after this game, after I talk about this game, we'll go to comments because it'll be a halfway point. Jameis Winston's pregame speech was freaking weird. Mike Evans is not going to be in this game. He has a one-game suspension. So even if they were wanting to win this game, I think that's a big key factor for them. Him and Jameis Winston not playing, I'm not going to go for him. Deshaun Jackson will have a big week on my fantasy team, but that's about it. For the Jets, they're somehow winning games. They're 4-5. If Doofus McCown doesn't throw an interception right to a Miami defender,
bro,
it could be 5-4. I mean,
he was paid to do that.
Well, then he shouldn't have been paid. Shit. I mean, they basically destroyed the Bills.
He had to be paid.
It was terrible. It was terrible. Look at their last 3 games, right? They barely lost to the Dolphins on that terrible interception. They lost by 5 points to the Falcons, and they could have beaten them, and then won on Thursday Night Football. This isn't a great team, don't get me wrong, but this is a team that is, like you said, inspired and wants to win these kind of matchups, and the Buccaneers are lost. So I'm going with the Jets. Cavs got the Jets. AC is going different this week. He's got the Bucs. I don't really know why. He's going with the upset. Ryan Fitzpatrick.
He has one upset this week,
and that's this one. It's this one right here. I don't know why, because he doesn't believe in those JETS win. But yeah, I got to go with the Jets here. I don't see anything out of the Bucs. Let's get to some comments. We're at the halfway point of our games here. Michael Sachs says Seahawks, and then he gives us our picks: Bears, Lions, Steelers, Jags, Saints, Jets, Vikings, Titans, Rams, Cowboys, 49ers, Pats, and Panthers. Benjamin says, go Pats. Of course, that'll make Mitch happy. Tyler says Seahawks and Saints and the Bears. Training Solution says, sup. What's up, brother? He says Bears 23-14. Major Slugger says Green Bay season is done. Or, as Training Solutions knows how to spell it correctly, D-U-N-E. Done. D-U-N-E. He says Lions 42-10 and Steelers 30-14. Kevnar says, we play tomorrow. Will we lose? The answer, Training Solution says, a good one. Probably not. But I don't know. Maybe. Could be a snaky one. If they do a freaking
9-6.
Here's the thing. If they do a field goal matchup and they have Blair Walsh doing the field goal matchup, they're gonna lose.
But they don't have Catanzaro anymore.
Who's the Cardinals?
I don't even
kicker?
remember. Catanzaro's the kicker for the Jets.
Oh shit! I gotta figure this out.
Is it Dawson?
It might be. It might be.
Oh no, maybe that's the 49ers. I don't know.
No, I think he got traded to Arizona.
Maybe.
Hold on, let me see right here. I can find.
I don't keep track of the Cardinals kicker.
It's Phil Dawson. It's Phil Dawson. Yeah, Phil Dawson, I have more confidence in than Blair Walsh. Sorry, Blair. As Bob Menery, I believe that's his name, put on Instagram.
If the Seahawks lose this game, they're not making the playoffs.
Ooh, yeah, I agree with that.
They
I
have
already
to
said
win this
that.
game.
I already said between the Panthers, the Cowboys, and the Seahawks.
Luckily for the Seahawks, they don't have a fresh Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson ran the ball 37 times on Sunday, and now he has to play on Thursday.
Who's that guy that was? It was Kansas City in the early 2000s. Ran for like over 400 times in a season. It was
Priest Holmes.
Was it Priest Holmes? No, I thought it was like in the
Larry Johnson.
Larry Johnson, that's who it is. So I had for like 429 times in a season. That's what Adrian Peterson's going through, basically. Let's see here. Cody Smith says Browns gonna win 14-7. Their record doesn't prove it, but anything can happen. Ooh, I don't know about the Lions. I don't know. You're crazy. Jags are not gonna win. No, they're gonna win. They're gonna win.
Go Chargers.
I think Phillip Rivers has a field day. No way. 599 yards, 6 touchdowns, and an interception? No.
Probably. I should start in fantasy then.
Hold on. That's actually almost the exact same stat line as Baker Mayfield last Saturday. Like, almost exactly like. Hold on, let me pull up this stat line. They were going nuts on this boy's stat line last week. Oklahoma, where are you at? Where is Oklahoma? Here it is. Baker Mayfield went 24-36, 598 yards, 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Holy fucking shit. He says Pats will go 10-6. How you feel about that?
Wrong.
It is going to be wrong.
At worst, they'll go 12-4.
He says Seahawks will go to the playoffs, win or lose. I will also disagree with that one. And then Sack says my Saints will go 11-5 and make the NFC Championship versus the Eagles.
I wouldn't mind that.
I would, maybe not the Eagles, but I would like to Saints in the NFC Championship game. I like that. But yeah, that is it for halftime.
For them to beat the Cowboys? Is that way?
Yeah. See, the Eagles would have to beat the Cowboys at some point in that. I don't like that. I don't fuck with that. So we'll see. But yeah, that's comments through halfway through.
Okay. The next game is the Cincinnati Bengals.
The Bengals.
And they head to Tennessee to play the Titans. I'm going with the Titans here. I think this will be a competitive game. I thought about it. I was like, Bengals are decent. AJ Green's playing. I don't know why, but whatever. I enjoy it. He's on one of my fantasy teams. So that's okay. And I think that the Bengals will be able to pass the ball in this game because I don't think the Titans have a very good secondary, and I think that's been proven. And I think the Bengals, when they don't face a defense that can like really dominate them and really pass rush very well, that they can move the ball and score. So I think that this game will be competitive. And then on the other side of things, the Bengals defense isn't too bad. So I was considering it. But the Titans, I think they're just the team that they have the better record. They're playing. They had a nice win against Baltimore. I would say it was a nice win, and I think that win really goes well with the Bengals because I think they're playing a similar team in terms of their defense. They're able to move the ball on Baltimore pretty well. They won that game kind of handily. So looking at that matchup, I think the Titans do win this game. They're at home. This is a game that they must win to keep pace with the Jaguars and win this division. So even though I'm not a huge fan of the Titans, I think they are a team that is a pretender. I think Mariota, he's at his moments, but the run game is going to have to get something going in this game. If the run game can't get going, the Bengals are going to win because if the run game isn't going with Murray and Henry, Bengals will win this game. But I think that it will get going enough. And this defense might make a couple of plays, and the special teams might make a couple of plays for them to win this game. So I'm going to go with the Titans. It's really close, though, and I think it's going to go down to the wire.
You're telling me they're not going to win 31-3 against the Steelers?
No.
Aww.
Only Kev thinks that.
Yeah, trust me.
I didn't even say that when I thought the Titans were better than they are.
They are who we thought. Bengals Titans. My computer's freezing. There we go. I don't exactly know what to think of this matchup. I don't think the Bengals are really all that good. They've been kind of trying to make some kind of run, but then again, they've been playing some good teams and they've lost to some good teams. Titans had a good win. The only one I predicted correctly, the Titans Ravens game. So I like the win that they got last week. Hopefully they can continue.
Let's not pretend like that was an amazing pick.
Wait, I was the only one to pick it. Oh, no.
Okay, I think they were favored. So,
well, I don't know why you picked the upset. I don't know why you picked the upset. I think this would be a good matchup for the Titans. They need to win this game too because Jacksonville's right on their ass. And considering I picked Jacksonville to win, I think the Titans need to win this victory or get this win. So I got the Titans. Kev and AC also have the Titans.
Okay, the next game we have is Minnesota. Taking on Washington Redskins in a huge game for the Washington Redskins. And a big game for the Vikings because the Lions are still sticking around here and there. But the Redskins, if they win this game, let's take them serious, all right? They're 4-4. They've played some really good games. They've beat some good teams, and the only losses they have are against good teams. So, and they've been banged up this whole time. This is a game that I think will be a defensive battle, similarly to the way that the Redskins play the Seahawks. This game is in Washington, which favors the Redskins. The Vikings have only played 2 road games, and one of them was in London, and the other one they lost to the Steelers. They won all their games at home. So I'm not sure how like Case Keenum plays on the road compared to at home because I don't really know Case Keenum very well. But in this game, I'm going to go with the upset. I'm going to go with the Redskins. I think in this game, I think they'll be able to slow the run game of the Vikings down like they did with the Seahawks. I think they've had a better pass rush than a lot of people think, and I think that they will be able to get after and disrupt Case Keenum. And then offensively, I just take Kirk Cousins to make a couple of plays. Of course, I said this is a defensive game. Vikings have a top 3 defense. I think they will be all over this Washington offensive line, which has me a little bit worried. But Kirk Cousins made some plays in Seattle and won that game in Seattle in a must-win. This is another must-win. It's at home. It's against a good team. But I think the Washington Redskins find a way to win this game again, and I think Cousins and his receivers make some more plays, and Jordan Reed should be playing in this game, so that will help. So I have the Redskins winning this game in a close 3-point victory.
Okay, so is Jamison Crowder, is he healthy? Is he coming back this week?
He's questionable. I don't know.
Questionable? Okay. Dotson came up somehow and got 3 catches for 59 yards last week. Terrell Pryor still not really a threat right now. Vernon Davis was their leading receiver last week, so old man Vernon Davis getting it done. I think, the Redskins game was interesting last week against the Seahawks. I don't really know how to tell between 2 teams. I still think the Redskins are quite banged up, especially that offensive line is really, not having me excited about, what they're going to do. The running game is goddamn non-existent. 4 carries for 20 yards for Chris Thompson, 14 carries for 18 yards by Robert Kelly. He had 2 touchdowns, but those are 1-yard touchdowns. By the way, fuck you for making my fantasy team screw up because of those 2 touchdowns. He had 18 yards. He had 2 touchdowns. Fuck you. So in this game, I just don't see the Redskins. I can't see the Redskins winning this game. I can't. I feel like the Seahawks are a different. They're playing superiorly well, and the Vikings have a really good defense that I think is going to stop them. Sendeo, I think, is coming back from that 1-game suspension, so that's going to be big for them. The Vikings are just a more thrilling team for me, and I think Case Keenum is going to make a couple plays that we're not expecting. Plus, you got Thielen, you got Diggs. I think those guys are going to go off. It might be a defensive matchup, like you said, but I think the Vikings outmatch the Redskins right now, even if they did get that victory last week. So I've got the Vikings. Kevin AC also have the Vikings.
Let's go. Upset City.
Nope.
Next game, Houston Rams. I'm going with the Rams. They're playing at home. Their offense is on absolute fire flames. And, Robert Woods is running in for 30-yard touchdowns without even being touched. Todd Gurley's playing like one of the best backs in the league. They got Cooper Kupp. They got Sammy Watkins. They got a couple tight ends. Jared Goff's playing good football. They're actually blocking this year. Their defense is making some plays. and their defense, again, is getting better every single week. The Texans, without Deshaun Watson, they lost their Band-Aid. They lost the guy that makes it work. They lost the guy that makes them a competent playoff team, like in there, but not exactly a contending team. Because without Deshaun Watson, this team isn't a good team because their defense isn't good. It's one of the worst right now in the league. Their secondary is garbage. They can't get a consistent pass rush without two of their top playmakers. And their offense can't run the ball good enough to supplement Tom Savage as the quarterback. And really, without Deshaun Watson, Will Fuller seems to be taken out of the game because he can't really stretch the field the way you would like with Deshaun Watson there. So it only really comes down to DeAndre Hopkins. So I think that, the Rams will win this game. They're playing really well. They're riding a high, and I think they get another victory on the road to the playoffs.
The Rams have scored 40 or more points 3 games this season, 3 different times, which I don't think they got even close to last season. They've scored 30 or more points.
They haven't done that they haven't scored 40 or more points 3 times since 2007.
Holy shit, there you go. They've also scored at least 30 points 5 times this season. This offense looks explosive. They got 51 on the Giants last week. The Giants looked incompetent, as they have done most of the season, but they looked superiorly incompetent. 3rd and 33, and Robert Woods just goes, well, fuck it. I'm going to go score a touchdown. Yeah, okay, cool. Cool, very cool. He wasn't against my fantasy team, but still. In this game, it's against Tom Savage. I like DeAndre Hopkins and Will Fuller. I wish Will Fuller would produce something on my fantasy team, and I hope he does, but I don't think much is going to come out of that. Rams are favored by 12 points in this game for a good reason, because the Rams have scored 30, like the last 3 games that they played. Hold on. I need to get that stat up again. They've scored 51 last week. They scored 33 the week before and 27 before that against the Jacksonville Jaguars defense. So against the Texans, who have no defense, I'm going with the Rams. AC and Kev also going with the Rams.
The Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, we're talking about this one. Okay.
Travel on the road to play the NFC champion Atlanta Falcons in one of the games of the week. AC had a lot to say about this one. Dilly, I bet you have a lot to say about this one. What do you got to say?
I got a lot to say. This Cowboys game is very interesting. Last week, the Cowboys went at home and played against the Chiefs, who are lower down when they were before at the beginning of the season, but we're still number 1 or tied for number 1 in terms of the rankings in the AFC in terms of, standings. And the Cowboys went and played really good defense. Surprisingly enough, you take away that bullshit touchdown at the end of the first half, and this Cowboys defense gave up 2 scoring possessions, a field goal in the first quarter and a touchdown to come out of the second half. They were down 17-14, and the Cowboys went out there and they scored, and they did really good. Dak Prescott is playing very, very well in the last couple of weeks. I would rank him in the top 3 QBs right now. So when it comes down to it, Dak has played some really good football. This team is working together, and I really like what I saw, especially out of Terrence Williams. Terrence Williams had a very good game last week. Reminded me of a certain Miles Austin when he was playing against the Chiefs a couple of years ago in that big game that he had, which they brought up. The Falcons, they played the Panthers last week. They were very close to winning that football game, but they just weren't able to pull it out. It was more of a defensive stance. And through the first couple of quarters, I thought this Falcons team had a chance to win this football game. But it just turned out they weren't able to get the job done. I don't know. I think they got a stop on downs at the last drive, or if it was an interception. I don't remember. I think it was an interception now I think about it. But, yeah, the Cowboys are playing good football, like solid football, a little bit underrated. And the Falcons have been inconsistent with me. Like, I just don't know if I can say the Falcons have been playing really good football over the last couple of weeks. They lost to the Panthers, barely beat the Jets. They lost to the Patriots. They lost that loss again, or they got a big loss when they had the lead against the Dolphins. I don't know. And the Cowboys played defense that they're going to need to have coming down the stretch. So I've got the Cowboys here. It's a big-time matchup. I'm looking forward to it. AC has the Falcons. Kev has the Cowboys.
Okay. For me, I'm going with the Dallas Cowboys. They are on the road on this game, and it's going to be interesting to see how they play in Atlanta because at times Atlanta and that crowd can kind of take over, and that can win them the game itself. Like we saw that a lot last year, and we saw that early this year against the Packers, a big game. I think this is going to be really, really interesting. I think the two key players in this game, I think for Dallas is Zeke. I think that looking at this offense and this offensive line versus this defense, which is a little bit more built on speed and athleticism, I think the Cowboys should be able to kind of run the football, use their power game and kind of, overpower the front of Atlanta. That should be able to happen. And I think that the Cowboys will be able to kind of dictate the pace of the game, which is why I'm going with them. And I think Zeke's going to have a good game here. On the opposite side of things, I think Julio is going to have a big game against the Cowboys secondary. I know that they've been playing better and their defense is playing good, but I just think Julio is going to have a really nice day. I don't think they really have anyone to cover him. And I just think, he is going to be that guy that continues to make play after play after play in this game for the Atlanta Falcons. Now, it's going to be interesting to see what the variable is. Can Atlanta's offense consistently move the ball? Can the Cowboys get the pass rush? And to me, like you said, I think there's too many question marks for Atlanta. I thought about this one and going with Atlanta, but Dallas has just proven to me that they're playing better football on offense and they're scoring, more consistently. They just look like the better team week in, week out, and they played some good defense against Kansas City. So I'm going to go with Dallas here to win this game. I think they are one of the competitors in the NFC right now, and Atlanta is a team that's just too many question marks, too many variables. So although I think Atlanta could still sneak in the playoffs, this is going to be a huge game for them. They have to win this game, and that desperation might play into it, and maybe why AC is going with Atlanta. And I watched some of the game against Carolina last week, and Carolina, they played them really sound. Carolina was able to move the ball with some new things that they tried on offense, which I think is more about Carolina than Atlanta really. But they also fumbled the ball a couple of times in Atlanta's zone where they had more capability to make this game, more a dominant win, but that didn't really show up on the score. So I think Dallas doesn't make those mistakes and they do win this game. But I think it will be close and I think it will be entertaining. So Cowboys. The next game is the game of the week. The Giants in San Francisco to play the 49ers.
What are you talking
The San Francisco 49ers have 0 wins. The Giants have 1 win. In this game, I am going to flip a coin.
You serious?
Heads is the 49ers.
You serious?
Is the Giants.
Oh, God.
It is tails. I will take the New York Giants to win this football game. Eli Manning. I just think the Giants, maybe if I'm going to defend this pick, a little bit more talented. Yes, their coach and their team looks like they're off the rails. They look like they don't believe in playing football anymore this season, but they're more talented. So, Giants.
I got a Bleacher Report update today that says, quote, Giants players reportedly hate Ben McAdoo. Don't trust him. That's good to hear. Great. As if the Giants don't need any more disruptions. However, CJ Beathard.
I could have called that one. I said the guy sucks. And he has the worst haircut in the NFL. How could you not hate somebody with the worst haircut in the NFL?
Well, everybody said the first part. I don't understand where it's true, but yeah, the CJ Beathard is trash, and the Giants are still better than the 49ers. Game, lucky enough for you. I feel so sorry for you, but I'm gonna go with the Giants. So does Kevin AC, which is weird. It's been the first time since probably week 3 that we all picked the Giants. That
means the 49ers are gonna win.
It's probably what's gonna happen, and I'm okay with that. If the 49ers win, I'm not mad about that in the picks because first of all, they need a victory, but CJ Beathard is garbage, just awful.
Should I go with the 49ers?
No. I love my Motorola. Trust the coin. Trust the coin. Okay. Yeah, but I don't feel bad about losing that one because everyone else will lose it. So I'm good with it. Exactly.
I'm good with it.
Exactly.
The next game, We have the New England Patriots playing the Denver Broncos in one of the best rivalries of the past few years, typically with Peyton Manning, but we've seen some Brock Osweiler mixed in there. Brock Osweiler, last time he played New England, he threw 4 interceptions. That was in the NFC divisional game. This game is in Denver, which is a house of horrors for the Patriots. It is a tough place to play, although they did beat them last year there with Trevor Siemian and pretty good defense. Patriots win this game, but I'm not convinced it will be easy because the Patriots always have tough times with the Denver Broncos. But then again, I watched that Eagles game, and the Broncos didn't look so hot. I think Gronk has a huge game here. They didn't have him last year in this game. I think he'll have a huge game. I think look out for guys like Lewis and White to have good games in the receiving game, and Burkhead the way that they did against the Chargers. And I think that's the way they're going to move the ball and score some points. And ultimately, I don't think the Denver Broncos are going to score a lot of points. The Patriots defense only giving up about 12 to 13. It's somewhere in there. I think it's like 13.1 or something points in the last 4 weeks. I think they keep it under that number. I think the Broncos will only score 9 points in this game. I think the Patriots
field goals.
Yes, 3 field goals. Ooh. They will play good red zone defense. The Patriots will score 24 points and win this game 24-9 and a solid win. And in a dominant fashion, but the Broncos defense will keep them in it just enough to make the game a little entertaining, but we all know the Patriots will win it in the end. So I have the Patriots 24-9 in this game. Solid team win.
Thank God we're getting some good Sunday Night Football after this week because I've been praying for it. And
it's on Sunday night. I forgot to mention that. What's better than Brock under the lights, Dilly? Nothing.
No, let me think. Other than
Ben McAdoo's haircut, what is better than Brock under the lights?
Do we have enough time? Do we have enough space? We only have 8 hours we're allowed to go on Google Hangouts, so I don't know.
God. Really, 8 hours? We've never tested that. We should do it.
We should do it one time. Winter break, guys. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, this is awful. I cannot wait for the Cowboys-Eagles game on Sunday Night Football because that's actually going to be good. This game is going to be terrible. Patriots are just – first of all, it's a combination.
I really hope this is terrible. I really hope the Patriots blow them out. Blow the freaking, crap out of this team. I hope.
Look, I don't care about either of these teams, so I just want good football. But the big problem is that there's a certain guy whose initials are B.O. because he's awful, Brock Osweiler. He has to play.
He stinks.
He stinks. He's awful. He has to be under the lights. We got to see this guy again. Holy shit. But the last time the Broncos were in this situation, they lost to the Giants. Okay? The Giants on Sunday Night Football. And that's where this collapse started.
The Giants won.
I know. That's what I'm saying. The Broncos lost that game. So they've collapsed ever since that game. Patriots are going to win. No question. AC and Kev agree. This would be monumentally bad if the Patriots lose this game. I'll say that much.
I want to say this. Usually this game was a measuring stick. Last year, this game on the schedule, even though the Broncos were an okay team, this was a game where it was Patriots usually lose this game. But if they win this game and they win this game decent enough, this is a really good football team. And they won the game. It was a really good football team. So this year, I don't feel like it's a measuring stick. So when looking at the Patriots schedule, I'm still waiting for that game where it is the measuring stick. I think it is the Steelers game, probably in Pittsburgh, but there's also a couple of games in Buffalo I think will be tough. So there are some games on the schedule, but not a lot and not one game where I'm that's a measuring stick game for the Patriots. If they win this game, I know how good they are. I don't know if there is that game. So we'll see. We all have the Patriots. Monday Night Football, I do not know why they decided to have the Miami Dolphins on primetime 2 weeks in a row. Why? Cam Newton's always entertaining on primetime. I like the Panthers. I think they're a good football team. And last week, I really like what they did offensively. I don't know if you saw much of the game last week, Dylan, but they did a lot of trickery They did a lot of college scheme. They allowed Cam Newton to run a little bit more and use his big size, big body. He didn't focus so much on one receiver with Calvin Benjamin. He spread the ball around. They used Curtis Samuel's speed. They used more team speed, Christian McCaffrey in the screen game and all that stuff. I really like what I saw from their offense. And if their offense can get that going a little bit more, that's going to be really good because their defense is really good. So their defense, their front four is really underrated. I think they're going to dominate this game against Miami. Miami is not a good offensive team. They're one of the worst in the league. Although I think that they could have some decent matchups with the receivers versus the Carolina corners, I don't think they'll have enough time to do so, and I don't think they'll be able to run the ball well enough for them to have a good game on offense. And I think Cam will make enough plays against this defense where this game will be a wide enough margin. I'm thinking like 27-13 for the Panthers in this game on Monday night.
Okay, so I did not watch most of that Panthers game, unfortunately for that, which was weird because it was the only other game that was showing, but whatever.
And it was a good game.
Was it a good game? Okay.
Yeah.
So I watched a little bit of it. I got to see some of the things that they were putting out there, and I liked some of it, but I didn't get to see a lot. I was doing some stuff. So I got to see the Dolphins game, however. It was on Sunday Night Football. It was awful. It was not fun. It was not entertaining. The most entertaining play was Ndamukong Suh swatting the ball away to Derek Carr, and their offensive lineman running the ball and getting absolutely murdered trying to run that football. That being said, the Dolphins aren't very good. They're winning games that I think they want to win, but they're the games that they should be winning, they're not. It's a weird conundrum. Jay Cutler played his best game of the season, and they lost because I don't really know how to explain it. But they're playing the Panthers, who have a way better defense than the Raiders. Cam Newton's playing solid football, and from your description, it looks like they're getting the team together, so that's good. Panthers are playing at home, too. I think that's a good advantage for them, and I think for them to stay in this division, because remember, the Saints, I believe, are they 6-2, and the Panthers are 6-3. They just haven't gone on to bye yet. I believe that's the case. So Panthers need to stay really close behind. This would be a key victory for them. I'm going with the Panthers. AC and Kev also agree as the Panthers.
So we're all on the Panthers. All right.
Woo!
Let's get to the comments, and we'll recap our picks, and then we'll leave.
All right. Cody Smith says Pats will go 9-7. Tom Brady is washed up. Well, that's a no. That's a no.
I will. Okay, I will go the opposite of that. They're gonna go 14-2. How about that?
Oh no, not gonna happen.
14-2.
They'll lose at least one more game. At least lose.
Heard it here first.
Well, Tyler agrees with me and says Pats are going 13-3. Easy schedule, I think. Okay. I say they'll lose one more game at least.
Do you know to who, or are you just gonna say that?
I'll say the Bills game. I'll say the Bills.
Okay.
Or either that. No. Either that or the Steelers. I don't know which one of the two. One of the two. Okay. Training Solutions goes with my favorite comment. No, Skip Bayless told me they'll sweep the Eagles and win the division. # trust Skip.
Yes, Skip Bayless knows.
As a Cowboys fan, I should like him, but I fucking hate him. Training Solutions.
He's entertaining.
No. Like Stephen A. Smith is entertaining, even though he hates
They're
the Cowboys.
both entertaining, bro.
No. Who said it? Somebody said it. He said, "Your show's been trashed since Skip left, anyways." That's what he said to Stephen A. Smith. So them together, maybe.
Yeah, Max is just that guy that he's known for saying that Brady's gonna fall off a cliff.
Max Kellerman. That man ran around the horn when it first started. I didn't know that.
They have Donovan McNabb on that show way too much.
Donovan McNabb. I don't know one guy I would want.
He's okay, but why is he on there so much?
But he's the okay guy, right? Oh, hold on. Before we pause, okay? Can we talk about Mr. Deion Sanders real quick? All right?
That was awesome.
Look,
I loved that shit.
Look, I got an old Sports Illustrated of him. This is an old cover. My dad has this, right? It's great. This man needs to chill, okay?
That was awesome.
It was stupid.
I love
his argument was, bro, look at the rings. Look at the rings. He was a terrible tackler. He was a terrible tackler. That is true. As a Cowboys fan, that is true.
Put that Romo kid in his place, Deion. Good
shit.
shit.
He never won a playoff game. That's not what Tony Romo was bringing up at all. He's bringing up your tackling ability.
Good shit, Deion.
No. L. Your career's not an L, but that was an L in your argument. Training Solutions says.
And then he has Marshawn coming on and saying the N-word and shit.
Hey, Marshawn can say whatever he wants to. Okay, he has his own show. He has his own show. Training Solutions says Titans 21-10, Redskins 24-17. L. Deshaun Drakeford says I'm picking Rams too. They are too hot. Or as Big Shaq says, man's not hot. Man's cannot be hot. Training Solutions says Rams.
Hello?
21. Tyler Jones says Cowboys will win. Training Solution says Cowboys may be looking past the Falcons to the Eagles, which can screw them up. But he has the Cowboys winning 28-24. Deshaun says Cowboys win 27-24. Tyler 31-17 Cowboys. And Deshaun says Giants will get their second win this week against the 49ers.
I hope so. The coin picked it.
Michael Sachs says, "Was the 30 for 30 for Ric Flair good? Haven't seen it yet." Yes, it was very good.
Watch our review, bro.
Watch our review that we did on the channel. I did myself last night. It was a good.
You gotta send me that link too, Dylan. I want to watch it.
It's in our chat. You know where it is.
I think so.
Just scroll it up a little bit. By the way, thank you guys. We just reached 3,700 subscribers during the filming of this video. So
4,000 by the end of this month.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, there is a Daily Motion link also if you guys want to check that out. Mitch has it, but yeah,
go. At least by the end of this year, damn it! Come on, tell your friends.
Yeah. By the end of the year, that's what I'm saying. By the end of the year, tell your friends.
I actually want to know what people think about this. Can I just say it? Okay. We're gonna have a meeting tomorrow about the channel and the potential discussion. I want to know what you guys feel about this because some people might hate it, some people might love it. So I want to know your thoughts. Do you think that this channel should go full bore and just become an NFL channel? Or do you think that we should keep the format that we have and cover every sport sparingly?
And by the way, that means like we would just be strictly talking about NFL. There wouldn't be any wrestling stuff. There wouldn't be the occasional 50 Trent appearance. There wouldn't be all that stuff.
There wouldn't be hockey. There wouldn't be basketball. It would be NFL, but it would be more videos. It would be more concentrated. It would be a lot more topic videos. There would be it would be NFL all the time. So I would want to know what you guys think about that because we are considering it because it's by far our most popular thing. It's by far the favorite thing of all of our people on our channel that we like to talk about. And it seems like our fan base likes it the most. So.
Yeah. Put it in the comment section. I'll get to it in a minute. Tyler Jones says he thought the 30 for 30 was good. And then also says, don't trash Brett Beathard. He's got no receivers and O-line played bad last week. Well, as Mr. Mitch Milani said in our chat, if Jimmy Garoppolo had played that game, they would have won that game.
He would have won the game, bro.
So
all he needed to know was slants and curls. And he would have won the game.
He could be the Giants this week. I don't know about last week, though. He was barely in the system. They barely –
See, the problem here is if the 49ers don't win a game, they're going to be forced to put him in because they need to win a game. They can't just go 0-16.
Why not?
So
why not?
They can't, bro. It just doesn't look good. So, like, they're going to have to be forced to put him in if they don't win with C.J. Beathard.
Is it like the situation last year with Goff?
Like, what do you mean?
They took like 10 games to put the guy in, but the Rams were like,
yeah, but like I think they need to put Jimmy in just to win. That's my point. Like they need to put him in just to win a game. And in my opinion, it would be stupid not to put Jimmy in because you want to know before you sign him, you want to know what he's like in a game, right?
Yeah, who said it first? I think Kornheiser said this on Pardon the Interruption last week when this trade went down. He's like, why wouldn't you put this guy in? Like you're wanting to see the value of this guy. Why?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's for the least couple of games.
Like it wouldn't make any sense for you to just not put him in a game.
Yeah, it's dumb. And plus, the guy hasn't played in a while, at least in an NFL game since last season. So you want to get him somewhere in there. I don't know. Training Solution says Giants 24-21. It should be a barn burner, I tell you what. Deshaun says New England will beat Denver, and Tyler says he's probably bad, but I got to back him up because he went to Iowa. Okay, fair enough. Training Solution says Pats 34-17. Tyler says Dolphins are going to win the game. Training Solutions with our comment. Dolphins prime time 3 weeks in a row. Who made this crap? I don't know, man. I don't know who decided this one was going to be it. Deshaun says Miami's going to win. Sebastian says Bears 28-17. Let's see here. Giants might be getting blown out 26-3. Now 26, that'd be 4 field goals. Would that be 4? Wait, no, that'd be 3. Wait. Yeah, that'd be 4 field goals and 2 touchdowns. Wow. That would suck if that was done. Pats will probably lose to the Steelers, then murder them in the playoffs. That's what Tyler says. Why do I hate
hope
Skip?
I'll take it. Like, cool.
Why do I hate Skip? You know, he just says the most idiotic
things. Bro. Do we really need to explain this?
Yes. I just hate him, okay? Here are some of the answers from your question, though. Here's the question.
I see them.
Every sport, says Deshaun. Training Solutions says NFL channel. WWE sucks. It stopped being good last year.
Who said NFL channel? Training Solutions.
Training Solutions. Michael Sachs says keep it the same. Tyler says keep it the same. I like the various topics. So
should we put a poll out to the channel?
Like in our comment, like a full video for it?
Like make a video, announce the possibility, and then put like a poll, like you can vote. Okay. Yeah, I like that idea. Okay. We still have to have this. Like, we haven't even had this meeting yet. We got to get that right. Yeah, I know. We haven't. Well,
the other two don't even know what's going on. Sorry.
The fans need to know, bro. The fans are crucial.
The fans will know before our own co-host. We haven't even told them about this. So
yeah, but who cares about them?
They're part of the NFL.
All about the people.
They're a part of the NFL commentary. The only person that doesn't know is Fiddy because he doesn't check his phone. Sorry, Fiddy, I love you. Let me give you a virtual hug. But I mean, I don't know, man.
He's probably watching right now.
I'm sorry, Fiddy. I'm sorry. He's very nice. He's so nice. But and Michael Sachs says, "Love the Saints video." Thank you very much. We're gonna keep going on those Saints videos. Okay. But yeah, that's it.
We done?
Yep.
Okay. My picks. Got my booklet. Okay. Seahawks, Bills, Bears, Lions, Steelers, Chargers, Jets, Titans, Skins, Rams, them Cowboys,
woo!
Flip a coin, aka Giants, Pats, and Panthers.
For my picks, I've got Seahawks, Saints, Bears, Lions, Steelers, Jags, Jets, Titans, Vikings, Rams, Giants, Cowboys, Patriots, and Panthers. So there it is. Those are the picks this week.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us. If you enjoyed, hit that like button. If you enjoy and you think your friends would enjoy, share with your friends. Get them to subscribe because we're hitting 4,000 by the end of this year.
Woo!
Hopefully the end of this month. End of this year. Thanks, guys, for joining us again. Subscribe, like the video. See you. When's our next live video? I guess tomorrow night for Thursday Night Football between the Seahawks and the Cardinals. It's Mitch and Dylan. Peace.